As we sit and we watch the weather roll in, the counter spins roll in, you can see where the concentration of the geoengineering has been, working that New Madrid fault line. But we're not here for that. We're here for the toy I've been messing with, and that is the virtual radar server. And as you can see, we're in offline mode, okay? But what's more important is that this is talking straight to the dump1090 net server running. On ports 30002, I googled for information on this stuff, didn't find much. In other words, it's basically a lot of hush-hush, but there's a reason why I'm making this video, and that is, I was sitting there trying to learn how to decode what was coming out of the dump1090, which it's pretty hard. I mean, the Pi mode S is not up to date when it comes to the latest flight-aware decoding, especially with MLAT. That's what I've noticed. But what I decided to do was, I found out that the virtual radar server had a plugin module and put a database server on it. So what we've been doing, and the reason I've been real quiet these past couple days, is because we've been letting the virtual radar server and the sqlite do all the work for us. So we have the visual, which the visual recordings are still going on right now, and then we have the real hardcore data, the stuff I was after, and that's why I'm making this video, because I was looking for, call sign allotments and how much, I would call it gaslighting of the ADSB system has been done. Because there's other people picking this stuff up too. I'm not the only one. And I see how you can feed a system with this type of stuff. But, and I'm going to bring up the window here in a second. It's because it has a window behind a window. And that is statistics. This is basically how I was doing a lot of the decoding and stuff of that nature, looking at how the data frames are organized and stuff of that nature. So that's what I've been working on, is looking at the data formats, the MLAT. More of it needs to be written in Linux. As far as the Pi mode S needs to be updated, and it's definitely beyond my pay grade. Let's put it that way. But the nice part is that you can see over the past, I'd have to say this has been running for the past 3 or 4 days, 23,000, or 23 million, sorry, packets received in mode S. ADSB, 8 million, 0.5 ADSB packets, which is pretty crazy. And you can see flawless, no bad formatting, just rock solid. Very low throughput on the data. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the data itself, and I use a utility called sqlite database browser. So you can open up SQLite databases. You can write Python scripts, Perl scripts. To me, I'm just going to show you the browser of the database, and just show you how easy it is to pull up information. Once you get this system going, and like I said, there's not a lot of discussed on virtual radar server, the plugins. Not at least I can see. I mean, there's a lot of wiki articles, but if you have any questions on it, I decided to jump in this direction because I realized it did all the decoding in the SQL database for me, so I don't have to do any of that. So I love it. Like I said, when I come back here in a second, we'll start cruising through the data. All right, here we are. Bring up the window. Here we are, and I like having it in the background of the database. So, to give you an idea, which is what I like, that's why I'm doing this. Like I said, not a lot discussed in this, but this is a DB browser for SQLite. It just lets you get in there and mess around with tables. We're going to open ours. And as you can see, the structure is pretty straightforward: aircraft and how many sessions, flights, call signs, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to hit Browse Data, and we're going to show you, just after these past couple days, or I should say I've been running this for at least about 2 weeks now, how many aircraft we've encountered here in a second. So here we go. So in aircraft, we have 6,312 tables. And this is what I love about it, because I've been trying to get access to a lot of this and, record a lot of this. And didn't realize that virtual radar server with the SQL module plugged in does everything for you. So, I mean, it's easy to write, like I said, Python or Perl scripts or any type of scripting language up against SQLite databases. But we're just here for raw data. And as you can see, it has all the information you ever could want. But I just wanted to show you the Canadian ones, and we'll go from there, because that was the one. They're new, like I said. I'd say here recently, since I've been watching the system, over the past couple months, I've seen a lot of these kick in around September, October of last year. And like I said, 6,312 aircraft. It has all the information on them too. As you can see, it doesn't just throw it out there openly, but does have all the information that I'm looking for, and I'll just give you one here. And this is how I love about it. So here we go. That's how easy it is to pull up all the Canadian ones. 121. And you can see to me, it's like looking at a license plate, reading it, and trying to come up with things that these things can mean. You know what I'm saying? Just for the hell of it. It's like a game in a sense. It's like, bumper stoppers. Canadians were entertaining, I'll tell you that. Growing up in Montana, you learn a lot. Our school, when I came to Phoenix, our school in Montana was way further ahead than our school in Phoenix. So I basically sat in our school board just because, nobody moved at ours. But we're not here about that. We're here about, SQLite, the DB browser, and look at how easy it is to pull up all these call signs. So like I said, you can make up your own. But, pulling 6,312 aircraft out of the sky over the past, 3 weeks now? And no, just letting it crank. It does all the work. What I've noticed was the raw feed was getting more information out to the virtual radar server than the beast mode was. So the beast mode and the beast format, port 30005, was not putting out as many aircraft as port 30002. So there was a lot more information being fed as far as when I was looking at the statistics with virtual radar server. It said, hey, there's more data that's being provided by these dump1090s on the 30002 port, or the flight aware port, and it knows how to decode it automatically, so I didn't have to do any work on that. That's real nice. So this thing automatically, once you set it up and connect it, the virtual radar server, to your dump1090 instance, wherever it's at running. If you have any questions on that, just let me know. I learned this one very quickly just because I needed a lot of information out of it. But nice part was all these call signs. Wow. I mean, wow. Registrations. Crazy. Yeah, never seen so many. And then, of course, we have the other series. Mexico. And I love these too. So in other words, it's basically going to give me everything that starts with X. It's usually XAs. Yeah, there you go. That'll work just fine. Filters out a lot of the other ones. And they do the same, Wow, that's amazing on how many of those are snuck up in there. So, but no, as far as information, and the reason I got it was because in the aircraft, when you're looking up information, didn't mean to look at the flight. And the information, go over here to the right, this is what I got it for, is because it has all the information as far as codes, filters, manufacturers, types, and that is awesome. It has all the squawks, what it was squawking, and the flight information table. So no, it does a real good job. Virtual Radar Servers, SQL, does a good job of putting everything in the proper tables. I'm very impressed with it. And I'm not trying to show too much information in here, but no, I got it because I wanted to see the type codes, and which ones are blank, fill in stuff. And it's good for just kind of getting an idea of what's in your airspace and stuff of that nature, as you can see right here. And I love it, the exact model and information and stuff of that nature is just wow. But the call signs, like I said, makes it easy to data mine the call signs. Build up a Excel spreadsheet or a CSV file or whatever the hell you want. Pull the information out of it, very easily. And it uses very little CPU power from what I can see. Windows XP machines would run perfect running this type of program in the background, just collecting all the information and making it easily open sourced available to people. I'm tired of all the secrecy. That's why I do all this. So, anywho, like I said, just being able to look at this data, wow. We'll be back in a second. Alright. I'm trying to keep the video short as possible as best as I can. But like I said, the statistics coming out of this is just awesome. You know, I'm just hanging out of the dump1090 into the database. Little small SQL file and stuff of that nature. You know, nothing high tech. You know, Linux machine runs the front end or very minimals. You could run this on ARM CPUs, no problem. Just be careful, like I learned. The Raspberry Pis and ARM devices they have to be rooted quite often. The laptop seems to have proven its stability a lot more rock solid from all the experience in the years I've been running the software. And I custom compiled the dump1090 as far as FlightAware's version. You just hit make, blade RF equals no, or RTL equals whatever, like I said. But the statistics that it pulls is just impressive. For yourself. In other words, this is all offline. You can run. In other words, you could grab your dump1090 system and share it to everything if you wanted to inside your network or wherever. You could put it wherever you want. But this just needed some coverage on the internet. People needed to know, hey, Virtual Radar Server has SQL, plugins, and you can, pump the data wherever you need to. And to me, it's nice just because it runs on my Windows 7 machine in the background, doesn't take up more than 27 megs of RAM. Doesn't even touch the CPU. And you could write it to, little thumb drives or whatever. Mine's on a solid state, but no complaints. And it just sits and runs every day. So as long as the network runs, they just sit and it pulls all the information in. And I'm very impressed because it does all the data formatting and pulls all the information that I'm looking for. Just because a lot of it's, worth, have all this, like being able to track stuff. It's what you do. It's every person, they have their, their awesome stuff as far as software-wise. And like I said, Virtual Radar Server wasn't getting a lot of coverage. Could use a little bit more updates. It is the year 2022, right? So anywho, I just wanted to make sure that people are aware of this server here. I'll show you the front end interface here. 1 second. Enjoy the weather while I switch windows. And as you can see here, connected. I'm going to show you the stats on it. Okay, so here's how I have to switch windows here. It's real fun on how we record these. And that is the settings that I use for my instance enabled. So you can see that it's set up with all the proper information, location stuff, and this is all the configuration information behind the scenes. AVR beast format. We're using AVR format. Raw feed, FlightAware, network, and obviously you can see the port, and it works great. I mean, this is all you do. Once you get this thing set up in here and you're good to go, you get the plugin set up for your database. To me, it works good because all the data's offline and it doesn't belong in corporate hands. It's all in small mom and pop shops, people that actually care about the airspace, like I do. Made it my, point of existence. You know what I'm saying? To help educate and share what's been, goes on in the sky above our head. You know what I'm saying? We don't need weathermen, weather girls, and weather people. You just go outside, look up, and you see what's going on. So, but other than that, that's how I sit and run my Virtual Radar Server every day. Like I said, on the background. It runs 6 kilobits per second. 6K packets. I mean, talk about run over a network awesomely. Whoever who designed this, I want to say thank you. That's why I made this video. Putting it out there, and I'm showing you the settings in there because other people want to know, hey, how the hell do you connect to your own, dump1090 servers and stuff of that nature? If you have any questions and stuff like that, just ask me because I've dealt with the Piwares, and I run mine on Linux machines. I've learned better. The laptops run it better. Older laptops that run Ubuntu, Debian, doesn't matter. It runs on anything old. And Linux laptops run light power, so you're not, sucking up, mom and pop's electric bills and stuff of the nature. But I figured, hey, why not show other people, some of this cool stuff that we deal with, on a day-to-day basis. And this is how I'm sucking up my raw feed from my server, in a sense. And it works great. Like I said, all it does is it's the dump1090 talks straight to the Virtual Radar server. It dumps it straight to a database file. And then every couple days I sniff the information that's inside the database file. But other than that, for tracking everything as far as Skywise, very good job. So Virtual Radar server developers in the UK, much love, and happy post holidays and stuff of that nature. Like I said, go check it out. If you have any questions on dump1090 or virtual radar servers, I'm your man. Catch you later. Enjoy that weather. Real weather, AccuWeather, up to date every day.